Yep. What can I say? Endermen. Also, we're going to check out the castle. Morning. GrampyJAG here. First off, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who reached out about Echo. Suffice it to say, when I know something, you'll know something. Right now, still waiting to hear back from the doc. So, that said, I ran into an Enderman. Yeah, he killed me. Sure did. Stone dead. Literally, stone dead. I was actually... Let me go show you where this happened. I thought I had a decent chance because I was down here. I saw him, exchanged a couple blows with him, jumped down here in the water, thought I had a good shot at dealing with this guy. Nope. He teleported me over yonder and down, and I died in a block of stone. Let me tell you, it was a pain getting my body back. First off, I couldn't read the numbers on the death note. I thought it was 500 and it was 300 some. So I was off by 200 out in the ocean. It's like, how can my body be here? I was in stone, and here I am floating amongst the narwhals and the sharks. Let me tell you, that was not fun either. No, sir. So, yeah, I keep lapsing into character. I don't know why I do that. So here's the question that's come up from someone who contacted me. Let me get back in here where it's safe. Yeah. Are you really that absent-minded and goofy? Or is it just an act? Yes and no. Or actually, no and yes. No, I'm not that absent-minded and such. But yes, would you put me in front of a character? Here, yes. And you put me in front of a character pretending I'm a camera. Yeah. When you put me in front of a camera pretending to be this character, yeah, I get a little scatterwompied. And I make up words like that. I don't normally make up words like that either. Scatterwampy. What the heck is scatterwampy? I sound like the kids these days making up words for everything. Yeah, I know I did it again. But seriously, folks, no, I'm not usually this scatter-minded. I do need to use lists more often as I'm getting older. Get distracted a little easier, but not to the extent where I'm as bad as the character here. At least, I don't think so. Don't ask my wife. So I think I am just gonna putter around for a while, and y'all can just tag along. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna go back over. Hello. I just froze myself. There we go. I'll go over here. I made myself a coking oven, so I can start getting some creosote and some coke. And this is done. This is done. Put that in there like so. Put my bucket back up. Picked up some garbage. Actually, is this empty? Pretty much. I got a pick in there. So let's go get rid of them flowers. Actually, I think I'm going to start doing this. What is that? Sandbog death camas. Okay. Start converting some of this stuff to dyes if I can. There we go. I've been using dyes a lot more in this particular game. I don't know why, just have been. And let's get rid of them seeds. Oops, wrong one. There we go. We're a little light on torches because I used them all trying to find where my body was. So let's make some torches. Anthracite. Yes, I know it's anthracite. Just leave me alone. I like having fun. It's hard to have fun in life. Life's a pain. Stone burnt. Oh yeah, stone burnt. That's what we were working on. Yeah, that project. So here's a little something for you. Bet you didn't know you could do this. Oof, blaze powder. Isn't that cool? And this is going to be regular blast bricks. Oh, you get 3 of those each. Quill. So I only got a bunch more to make. So in order to make those, I had to get this guy up to 50. And we're now at 84. And the way I did that, first I came down here. I filled out the fire mills as you saw upstairs. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, in the background. Then I came, is it this one? I don't remember. I think it's this one. I'll go a little faster. It's hard doing these narrow corridors running. Is it this one? Maybe not. Maybe the one up. Yeah, I think it's the one up. So we ran down here for nothing. Unfortunately, I don't have these marked for where the lava pools have wound up spawning. You would think they would be down here on the bottommost levels, but turns out they aren't. At least in this area. Oh, maybe it is. I was off by 1. Okay, yeah, this looks more like it. Yeah, there's lava. So I went and made a couple of lava mills. They're only generating like 2 each. They really need to have the lava on each side. I just chucked them in there because I didn't want to mess with it. Found a better place for them, but getting those back out of lava is a pain. So they're going to sit there for a while till I don't need them and can afford to move them. And they're going to wind up working a lot like the water mills that we're going to take a look at next. And we're going to have to do this quick because sun is setting again. Oh, look, we got sugar cane. Really need to rig some of that for cactus. So it turns out the water mills generate power by how fast the water is flowing around them and how many sides have water going around them. That farther than I thought it was. This is the one nice thing. These things work anywhere, and I lost them. There they are. All right, so what I did, I put this on the dirt, dug the dirt out from under them, dug it down 1 more, dug back 2, etc. And then we come off from the side 1, 2, 3 to make sure everything's flowing good. I probably could have only needed to do 2, but I didn't want them to form source blocks. Source blocks get you nothing. It is the flow. So you see, currently these are each generating 10. They could generate up to like 20 if you have it set up right, which if I had water coming down from the top, I think we would have everything we need. Come down and hit each one of these and went down the middle. But, you know, don't need source blocks, and it's getting dark again. Goodness, the days are short here. Yeah, and I ain't collecting that. I don't like that. It looks like some of the other wood, so why mess with it, right? It just takes up space. Found a couple more gardens. Haven't managed to eat. Holes everywhere in this world. Haven't managed to eat anything out of the new gardens yet, so haven't bumped up my hearts. Probably could go do that now since I'm down a heart. Let's see what's in the lunchbox. We got spice leaf, we got green grapes. Let's have a spice leaf. Okay, good. Let's have our grapes. Yay, makes us feel better. I'll put half of those back. Or try to. Cooked rabbit. Yum. I got another brick. I got regular brick. I gotta pull something down. What do we got a lot of? Oh, persimmons. Oh, and the pineapples. I need to get a pineapple garden. That's another thing. Need to get a garden going. Let's go lay down. So these are the things that go bouncing through my head. Let's put these away, which are going in here for the... Actually, probably about time to pull some out. Let's see. Yeah, we got 7 more while we were doing that. 9. That gets us 3. So 9, 15. And I need like 27. So I got a couple more to go yet. And then I will have a blast furnace. And I can make steel. And with steel, we can continue on with the quarry project. 1 bronze hammer. I got a day or a dawnstone. I got an axe. Let's get these moved out. Dirt can go over here. Put that up there. Put that there. Yay. Let's see if I've got enough nickel to play around. Nah, I've only got 41. I want at least a stack before I mess with that. So let's... Yeah, we got a little tin. We need to get more tin. Forget what the byproduct is. The tin's a byproduct. That's all, folks. So I need... I think it's 3 to 1 for bronze. 3 to 1, something like that. That is the one thing I don't like. You can't pipe anything in. Kind of sucks that way. So let's, for the moment, just tack these off to the side. And we can come back and get those. I was waiting for a couple bronze. That's right. There's 8. What do we got in here? 19. Pain in my posterior, having them all different things. There we go. So I need 25. All right, let's go find a... Oh yeah, I got a door back here now. Probably wind up being able to take a lot of these walls down. Yeah, let's get rid of this dirt. I got a lot of dirt. I need to get that compressed. So what I'm thinking is, while we're waiting on various and sundry... Oh, you guys are growing so nicely. Really need to get... Let's do that. Let's harvest. Yay, we've harvested. Let's get these pulled. Let's go get a little more sand. And we will get those, get a couple cactuses growing. One, two, three, four. Put that up. Put those up. Yeah, gonna be nice when I get a better storage system working. Get 2 of those. I don't know how those will do. These should do fine. We just walk around in S shapes. I really should have gone out the other door. So let's flip that down there. You know you're getting too much. My God, where did that come from? You know you're getting too much stuff in your packs. Ow! When? Mean things. I guess I didn't have quite enough room to maneuver there. I'm going to have to... Really? You guys won't go on there, huh? Why is that? Well, don't go on that either. Windley thistle. I recall those got to be a couple apart. Can we put you down? Well, you just put down as many? Oh, you can get 3 out of those. Cool. Can't really use them for anything but decoration, but they're kind of pretty. So let's get a couple more sand. It's going to be dark again before I get out of this place. I don't know if these will grow outside or not in this particular environment. It does not like that. I wonder if it needs more space around it. Or more sand. See, I don't think I pulled all of these out of sand. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't come over here that much. Yep, that was it. It didn't like being that close to the edges. Yeah, there you go. Alright, it is almost nighttime again, so we'll just straighten up the pack and get ready for the morning. So what I'm thinking is running over to base 2 and doing a little bit of work there. Interesting, the yeah, the other ones, the big lanky ones, can grow in the greenhouse. Oh, there's bricks. Let's put bricks with bricks. There we go. All right, I'm going to wait for night. I'm going to go catch another cup of coffee. I'll be right back. I'm back. Did you miss me? There, see, I'm back. All right, so I got me a cup of coffee going. It's not dark yet. That's kind of odd. I would have thought it would have been dark by now. Anyhow, I got a cup of coffee. And speaking of coffee, you know, you can support the channel not just by leaving likes and comments and subscribing. You can also send me a cup of coffee. If I get, I think it's 13, 14 cups, we'll call it 15. 15 cups of coffee a month would support a server where we could get additional players and do different projects, and it expands a world of horizons. It won't mean that I can work on it all the time, but it will mean we can do like maybe a server. We get a little more support, and we can do things, or I can do things like, oh, get an editor. Wouldn't it be great if someone actually edited these things? Yep, I ain't that good, I admit it. But I could get an editor, I could get a few other things going. Maybe even get some people together to do the coding I need to expand Dcraft. The sky is the limit. That would have been bad. The sky is the limit. Well, I suppose I could be looking down from the sky getting smaller, but I can only go so far. So yeah, like I say, there's something about having that little guy on the screen that messes with my personality. So I think for the time, I really should cut more trees, by the way. Oh, and I got my nether portal safety so things don't come out and visit. You can hear someone in there right now trying to make his way through. We don't play that game around here. Never know what's going to come popping out of that thing. So anyhow, I was thinking I would head over to base 2 and take my little friend with me and knock out a couple layers of rock over there and see where we're at on the leveling project. Now, unfortunately, you don't have something that works on dirt like you do with Tinkers. Yes, I know Tinkers isn't in this. You're not getting it either. There are certain things that were way overused that aren't in here, and there's certain things that y'all have never played with that you should have that are in here. So take it for what it is. But there's my scale up there. That's how far we have knocked that hill down. It used to be as big as the one next to it. Did that all with a pick, with a stone pick, by the way. a pack full of, many packs full of stone picks. Oh, look at all the blue butterflies. There's lots of them here. Not certain what causes them to spawn, because I've only had like a butterfly here and a butterfly there, but every now and then I'll come on a big group of them like this. What's this? What's this? Is it rock? It's just rock. There's nothing special. It's a dandy little walk over here. I also would like to eventually... Oh, we missed one. Also would like to eventually get railcart systems running. I really got into those in a couple other games here that I was in recently. Yeah, make that look a little nicer. Same thing with that. Oop, there we go. So here we are. This is our little work shed for base 2. For those of you who haven't been here to see it. Hello, Mr. Goat. Yeah, and there's a big old hole in the side of the mountain. I really haven't explored it all that much. I've been in here and thrown a few torches in, but big old hole that's going to probably wind up having to get filled in. eventually. I'll probably stay out a couple nights and finish spamming torches. Again, more charcoal. So, here we are. Miss America. Yeah, you ain't old enough to remember any of that stuff. So I gotta go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels yet. And looks like I was working on clearing away the dirt. And probably need to get in there and get that gravel too. Gotta be kind of careful with these Dawnstone shovels because they are fast. Sometimes so fast you dig yourself a hole before you know what happened. Unless you lag. So I'm looking at doing the, see, like that. Looking at doing the update for Dcraft. Not going to do a whole lot of changes on this one, just kind of make sure the recipes are all intact. I may or may not look at adding a couple of mods. One that I was hoping to find was something that lets you put in diagonal rail track. So you can move diagonally smoothly, kind of like this, instead of because I'm sorry, but going it gives me a headache. But again, doesn't seem to be anything like that out there. Something really useful, can't ever seem to find it. But I'll be looking at a few things. I know I'm going to put loot tables in this because there's things I want to add for drops by certain creatures or a very rare chance out of random chests. So I kind of need a loot table tweaker for that. If it's tweaker, it's got to be good. Seems that way anyway. Sometimes I'll put Pandora on. I'll just turn the sound way down on this and turn the sound up on Pandora and just listen to Pandora while I'm doing this. Very relaxing. Digging and listening to music. And music I listen to probably isn't the music you listen to. No, it's not Cole Porter. Don't go there. I don't do Cole Porter. I like symphonic metal. And you probably, if you're in the US with me, don't know what symphonic metal is. I got introduced to it when I first started my first Pandora channel back in like 2002, 2000, whenever Pandora first started. I've been on it since nearly the beginning. It still have very low rates for no commercials because of that. Because I'm a loyal subscriber. In any case, first channel I built, I used Evanescence as the base seed and went from there. And I started getting this really cool music coming up. See, I like music that invokes emotion, which I'm totally opposite of my best friend. He likes trance, where his mind just turns off and he doesn't have to feel nothing. Oddly enough, the fact that we are not alike works out really well for us. But yeah, his music drives me crazy sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't, but this trance stuff lately has. And by the same token, the symphonic metal he ain't fond of because it invokes too much emotion. But what is the difference between American metal and European symphonic metal? Well, most of American metal, unless you're talking like Metallica, is death metal, where all they do is scream and bang on guitars, and you can't make heads or tails out of what the music's supposed to be. Does it even sound like music, or is it just banshees wailing? You know, I don't get into banshees wailing and depressing stuff like that. But you can have some really deep emotional music. Yeah, we got blue dye. Oh, we want that. We already know the wind thistles don't get you nothing. I threw out my cobblestone. That's all right. I'll be getting more here in a second. Clean this up a little bit. And getting on towards evening again. Anyhow, if you like Evanescence, it's probably the closest thing we've got in some ways to symphonic metal, and that's not even really a good analogy. But if you like Evanescence, you'll probably like symphonic metal. One of my favorites is a group called Nightwish. Another one, actually probably a bigger favorite, is Within Temptation. And those are probably the two bigger bands out there. Within Temptation is a Dutch band. They're out of the Netherlands, and Nightwish is out of Scandinavia. I want to say Finland, but I might be wrong. Finland, Norway, and Sweden. It's one of those three. A lot of bands come out of both of those areas. Some out of Germany. They're a little rougher, a little darker. I don't care so much for the dark music. There are times when it's okay, but mostly I want to be uplifted or feel some soaring power. Hard to put into words if you haven't actually experienced it. Bands you may have heard of in the U.S., Apocalyptica tours the United States. They are a group of classically trained cellists that play symphonic metal with their cellos. And I have heard them on the airwaves, and I know they come down to the major cities in the U.S. on occasion. Within Temptation has toured the United States on occasion. It has been a while, I think, since they've been here. Yeah, brain turned off for a second there. Sorry about that. Now, in any case, if you like it, check out those two bands if you want to try it. I like it. It's interesting. And there's all different flavors out there. And they literally are flavors. There are some bands, they do nothing but Lord of the Rings heavy metal or symphonic metal. They got a couple bands that do that. It's kind of strange, at least by American standards, that someone would do that, be that committed. I even listened to some a cappella symphonic metal. Yeah, figure that out. A group. I don't know if it's a group, but the main ladies out of Israel, they do a cappella. Usually it's covers. Every now and then they'll do an original. Hellscore, that's the name of the band. Yeah, of course, I like good old 70s rock and roll, Boston, Queen, Kansas, stuff like that. Never got into the stuff that my classmates were into at the time, like Led Zeppelin. Again, Led Zeppelin at the time sounded like screeching banshees, so my tastes have changed over time. Led Zeppelin's not that bad now. I say I'm not a big fan of jazz and blues and stuff, yet I listen to Heart and in Analysis. That's exactly what they are, is a blues band of sorts. So, hey, you know, what can I say? I was young and dumb once. Now I'm old and dumb. This goes so much faster. In fact, my fingers is going to sleep. I'm getting a lot of neuropathy and various and sundry. It sucks getting old. Surprised I don't have worse carpal tunnel than I do. Seems dark for some reason. And I've been getting a lot of this. I don't know what it is about this particular generation. I don't recall having this issue on previous generations of this game, but I'm getting a lot of water in hills. I don't remember there being a lot of water in hills when I used this seed in other games, but certainly have it now. And it's not so much a problem when you're going down like this, but when you're going up and then you get washed down the hallway, it gets annoying after the 20th time. Just saying. Somebody commented at one point that I make them feel good like Mr. Rogers. You know, Mr. Rogers always creeped me out. That soft voice that he always used. Blah, 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 blah. They got a word for it. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, it doesn't work the same way on me. That kind of creeps me out. It's like fingernails on a blackboard. That painting guy, too. Bob Ross. I like Victor Alexander. Or no, not Victor. Bill Alexander, the German guy out of Boston. I liked him. The German guy with his magic face. Yeah, it might be because I'm German descent. Who knows? It's late. I gotta get on, homie. It's late. Yeah, you get all the dad jokes for free. Especially when I use my gravelly voice. See what I did there? Dad jokes. You didn't know what a dad joke was, that's what they're talking about. It's clean humor unless you're talking about jokes about dirt. Like gardening. Gardening jokes are dirty jokes. I need more flint like a hole in the head. I say that now. Typical ugly cobblestone block house, but you know, in the beginning, it's the way to go. Hopefully we do something a little prettier. Now I gotta remember what they put. So that's cobble, that's cobble. Why do I have two things of cobble? That's food, those are pretty rocks. There's my gravel. There's dirt. Let's see, a place to put that. Flowers, wood, and more food. Useful stuff. Let's put the dyes up there. Where did I put the ores? There's the fuel. This must be where the ores went. Carry those back later. Alright, let's see if we can get some sleep. Not quite time yet. We got... yeah. Why are you bouncing at me? Oh, you're telling me this was done. Okay, that's fine. Has timed out. That's fine. You did the scan. So that was an experimental picture I did when I was teaching watercolors. What we did is on the watercolor paper we would apply spackle, which is the stuff you use to seal holes and fill in gaps when you're putting up wallboard. Like plaster, but different. So I was working on teaching or trying textured design. So we would make an item that had spackle, and then we'd coat it with a little bit of gum arabic so that the watercolor would have something to stick to. Although now you have liquid ground for that to create a watercolor surface. And then we would paint over the raised areas, and we get a three-dimensional watercolor picture, watercolor painting. So that was kind of fun and interesting to do. Haven't done much with it since the first two I made. I did one with a tropical fish that turned out kind of nice. Considering I'd never worked with it before, it was kind of nice. That means it wasn't really that nice, but yeah. For a first attempt or two, pretty darn good. Never did hold my interest doing that though, so I just got a couple of examples, and I'm scanning all my small watercolor works so I can put some of them out on Fine Art America, and you will be able to purchase them for a small donation. Another way to make a little money on the side, hopefully. Coloring books, I got that, or the paintings that you can buy as prints. Wife and I have been working on fiber arts. In case you don't know what that means, that's the all broad inclusive thing for anything that is knitting, weaving, spinning, embroidery, cross stitch, crochet, tatting, yada yada yada. Might open an Etsy shop, might just go and do some of the Christmas shows. So I've been helping her with that. I actually am better than her at some of the stuff. Ha ha ha. You're like, why is a guy doing crochet and all that other stuff? That doesn't sound like manly stuff. Well, you know what? You know who invented all that not so manly stuff? Was the men. And I am from a time when all the grandmothers, aunts, mothers, etc., sisters, made sure the men all knew, all the boys knew how to crochet and knit and sew to some extent in case they weren't lucky enough to catch a woman to do it for them. So yeah, I know how to do it all to some extent. And there ain't nothing wrong with it. Well, I gotta say, it is hard to find any guys that are straight coming out on the internet. It seems like they're all gay, which is, I think, why the stigma has cropped up. You crochet? Are you gay? Yeah, because of our enlightened society. No, I'm not. And you know who started wearing high heels? And you want to know who started the fad of wearing makeup? And you want to know who started? Yeah, it was all guys. Go back far enough. Kings of Europe used to have spinning and tapestry contests amongst themselves. So tapestry is like a super advanced form of weaving, where you make pictures out of colored thread. And one of the big things that they used to compete against each other with as far as spinning yarn and thread was dog hair, of all things. So any of you who may or may not know what a Great Pyrenees is, the Great Pyrenees mountain dogs come from the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain on the Iberian Peninsula. Oh, there's some big words. They have very long fur to handle the cold weather. And it turns out some of them have an undercoat which is conducive to spinning. It is soft enough, it is pliant enough that you can spin it into a very strong yarn. Which in today's circles is known as chiengora. Chien is French for dog, Gora because of Angora. Yeah. So I did some of that for a demo when we were doing rescue for Great Pyrenees. Show that you could use the fur. There's a bonus. You can use the fur. Look at all those hammers I used up here. It's a lot faster than using the stone picks, but woo, eats up the material. All that bronze. I still got a couple in my pack, and I am getting tin. I'm not really getting any copper here, so I'm not getting replacement on it at this point. Hey there, goat. I'm going to drop some stuff on your head. Just chuck this stuff for now. I'll have plenty more coming. Get rid of that. I got a little bit of tin, some iron. Not much iron. You don't get much out of that. Even with the bloomery, you don't get much out of that. And this cheap iron works best if you just run it through a furnace in a lot of ways. Almost a waste of time to use it in the bloomery. If you've got magnetite or something else, it's good. Alright, somehow I missed all this. Well, you know what this tells me? This tells me I need to do more mining. Because I need more materials faster than I can use them. Or I use them faster than I can generate them. That's what I meant to say. So I really need to get the blast furnace up so I can get steel, because with steel I can get more of the components I need to build the quarry. Once you get the quarry, you're pretty much on easy street when it comes to mining and getting materials. Oddly enough, this time I did not find smoldering coal anywhere. I usually find that without, too much trouble. But there's a couple places in recipes I could have used smoldering coal. Don't have any. Haven't been able to find it. Which is why I set up a couple of the alternate recipes, because if you can't find that, you are locked. Well, as long as we're here, let's snag what we got for tin, because we're going to need that. And it turns out the white tin is up higher than I thought it was. That's coal. I ain't gonna mess with the coal. Not gonna mess with the coal, nor am I gonna mess with the unidentified minerals. We're just gonna do a little high grading here. Really? Yeah, that didn't go well. I'm just going to pillar up. There we go. Just make sure I don't fall in that hole. Is that somewhat below the level of my leveling zone? I'll probably wind up having to fill some of that back in. Alright, we got anything I don't need? No, I can take that all back. Let's grab this. And we're going to go back to base 1 and chuck a bunch of this in stuff to process. They always tell you don't run with your sword out. I'm telling you, it's handy. Saves you half a second if you get jumped by something. Don't do this at home. Jumpity jump. A lot of these asteroid pits have got lava in them this time too. That's another. Look at that. Lake of lava. There's a bunch of them I found have that. I had one world where every stinking one of those things was underground. I had to use that compass, and let me tell you, that compass, it ain't that accurate. That meteor compass. I was digging holes everywhere trying to pin down where those things were. This is why you want to run around in the evenings sometimes, because you realize where you don't have light coverage that might benefit from it. Especially since I got decent armor now. Probably should spend some time out throwing more torches down around places. Empty, organize, melt. Empty, organize, melt. Empty, organize, melt. Cobble, 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 cobble. Dirt, cobble. Tin, bauxite, cobble. Okay, we want one cobble. Dirt, dirt, dirt. I can do that, I can do that. I can't do that. I can do that. So, banded. Chuck that in there. So 300 goes to think it's going to be another 300. Nope, 100. So you only get 100 millibuckets out of those. Hardly anything. And when you get enough molten, it will hammer and you'll get iron. And then we come over here, and this is all stuff that can be run through embers, and we just chuck it in the box, and it's all tin. A good thing, because we were getting low on tin. Now I need to get copper. So, no growth there. I should have just looked down when I come through the door. Nope, no growth there. So, good a place as any to end this session. That's kind of what my day looks like. It's dig, 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 chop, 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 melt, 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 and then a little bit of let's make something because I'm bored. So, still working on, actually, see how I did that? I segued into an actually, because you knew you weren't getting off the hook that easily. Oh, this guy's still chucking away. So let's make, so now you know why I was after all that sunstone. There are certain things, okay, I think that's what I needed, 7. There are certain rocks that have special uses, and this is one of them. Yay. That's another thing kids do. Yay. And gonna need that. Gonna need the whacker. And I think we will put enough room for a second one there. So we're gonna be, we froze again. Why it doesn't like this area? Come on, break. Get that little, I don't know why I can't get a decent crosshair anymore. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is a solid build. You can see we're not going to have a whole lot of room for much anything else at this rate. So this is a solid build. This is immersive engineering. You can make an immersive engineering coke oven. It's a solid build as well. The Railcraft requires 1 less brick. It has a hollow center. And this you need to activate with a hammer. That you just got to build it right. So, yay. Now we need to get fuel and coke and iron. And I will have steel next time I see you. So let's get a charcoal. Oh, I'm running out of iron. Have to do more iron mining too. Coke. All right, coke goes in there. Iron. I guess you just need the coke. Will this work on just charcoal? I don't know if it will or not. Guess we'll find out. I'll fill you in when we get back. This is going to take a while to cook off now. That changed my mind. So, anyhow, we might do some more sessions like this where I just chitter chatter and you see me do what I do. But have a good day. Next time on Living in a Dcraft World with GrampyJAG, we will be setting up the quarry and giving it a test or two. See you then.